What was really interesting to me about the project was that, one, they wanted to work with contemporary artists to have a conversation, but two, that they didn't want to contextualize the event as being something that was in the past. They really wanted to use this as an opportunity to engage community, to think about what comes next, and to look at the legacy of what segregated pools left for Baton Rouge, but then also the impacts that it had across the country. And so it was a really great opportunity to, one, center in Baton Rouge and to look at the history and to recognize that Baton Rouge is a part of the civil rights movement in a very strong and present way. But then also to bring it forward and to hopefully use this exhibition as an opportunity to push things forward, to really think about where are we now and where do we want to be and how do we get there as a community. There were a couple of things that we really wanted to make sure that we did. First was to center and honor artists that are here in Baton Rouge and in Louisiana. And so we partnered to identify artists who could participate because it's important. This is a Baton Rouge story. We wanted to make sure that we had representation from around the country, like truly. So there are artists from California, there are artists from the East Coast, there are definitely artists from the South. And to look at those shared experiences, to talk about, yes, the legacy of not being able to swim. And so there are some artists that talk about that. There are other artists who look at this idea of how to have communities, built spaces for themselves. And so we look at place and places where, pools and or beaches were established by Black communities so that they could have access. We talk about the politics of masking, right? And the idea of safety in spaces where you are not protected. We really wanted to look at that broadly and not just center on this whole idea of struggle. And I think the other thing that was important is to have artists that work in different media, having video artists, performance artists who have lent objects from performance for the exhibition. It was really important to diversify in that way so that we're having this broader conversation, both socially and historically, really. There are a few things that I hope people take away after coming to see the exhibition. One, because I am a curator and love art and support contemporary artists, that there are a variety of voices that exist that talk about social issues, community, etc., and that they're all valid, right? And it can be this great space for kind of an introduction to new artists and new work. I think the biggest thing, though, is that this has to, for me, and I think for the gallery as well, function as a space to move things forward. This is not and should not just be you come in, you look at it, you leave. We're really trying to prompt this idea of what comes next. And part of that is deeply rooted in recognizing that the attempted swim-in was a moment for change. And so in honoring that event, we should be piloting our own moment of change. And so I hope that people will talk to each other, they will lean into uncomfortable situations and uncomfortable conversations, because that's where change happens. I hope people tell friends to come and see it, because this is a Baton Rouge conversation. But I really think that this is a chance, because the gallery is so committed, because, Deborah George and other people who were a part of the struggle are so committed to remembering this event and to moving forward, that people see it the same way and they come and do the work. Because we're in a moment where things are happening that impact a lot of us, all of us actually. And if we don't kind of get ahead of it, if we don't commit to change, if we don't commit to working together, I don't know what it looks like. It doesn't feel like it's gonna look good, but I don't know. So this is an opportunity to do that.